Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. I have some terrible news. The spy has returned. Now, in case those of you who have watched the previous video with the spy, you know what I'm talking about. For those of you who are completely unaware of what the hell I'm going on about, there is this scenario where we have a spy infiltrating from the Germans into the Russian Naval Architect Bureau, and he is there to cause some mayhem. This German consultant manages to get his hands on shipbuilding plans in the previous scenario for battleships, but in this scenario for heavy cruisers. And he's going to design them as poorly as possible to make sure that the German Navy, so his home country, has the best chance of winning a fight. This is why I have 4 heavy cruisers versus 2 heavy cruisers and 2 light cruisers. The Germans do have a small tech advantage, but I have to make these things as poorly as possible. So thanks once again to Tristan Z, who sent this thing in. And it is pretty straightforward. Due to his success last time, the German consultant has been brought back to design a new class of heavy cruisers. But again, he is a spy, and he will attempt to design them as poorly as possible. Now, the rules are simple. If you win, so the spy designer loses, the Russian fleet wins. AKA, I win, so I sink all their ships. The Russian Navy wins, the spy loses. If I lose, so if my 4 cruisers get sunk by the German Empire, then the Russians lose, but the spy wins. So, in a way, either way, I win. Alright, so, designing a poor heavy cruiser. Something bad. Something bad. Let's stick operational range to medium. I want this thing to be... Do we want a fast or slow heavy cruiser? There's something to be said for both. Slow warships, not able to keep safe from distance from torpedo-equipped enemies. Point taken. Fast warships can outmaneuver and evade and withdraw. Nah, we don't need speed where we're going. 20 knots for a heavy cruiser? Plenty. We do want a big ship. I mean, this is Russia's new proud heavy cruiser. Bulkheads are not required because they won't hit the ship anyway. We are going to make sure that these things run on diesel 1. And these will be semi-oil fired boilers. And I believe a natural boiler would be fine for these types of ships. Auxiliary engines are not required because Russian engineering will ensure that the main engine will always be operational, and all of this additional turning, well, I think that's highly, highly overrated, so we don't have to use any of those. Propeller shaft, no, the Russian propeller shafts are perfect as they are. They don't need any kind of an upgrade. Now, we have heard rumors of Krupp 4 armor, but these rumors are vastly overrated. Krupp 2 armor is more than enough, and you save quite a bit of cash while you build it. Barbette armor, well, there is a somewhat of a threat to the barbettes, so let's take that as standard. Gotta keep the design somewhat believable. Anti-torpedo belt, well, an anti-torpedo belt will help you in floating, but it's not that required. Let's give it a small torpedo protection. Single hull bottom? No, we're going to make it a double. Standard bulkheads. No, we're going to go with reinforced bulkheads, but I don't believe we need watertight doors. I mean, this is a warship, but we don't want to trap the crew too much. They still have to be able to reach around the ship, get from duty station to duty station, and hey, it's just more comfy if you don't have any doors to open and close. So reinforced bulkheads 1 is more than enough. Anti-flooding. No, we got the crew for that. Just form a line, bring the buckets, and start hosing out the water. Citadel. Well, yes, these citadels are useful. We don't want to make the ship too expensive. We don't want to make it too hard to build. All or nothing. That does sound quite Russian. Let's go with all or nothing. Then the type of weaponry that we put on the ship. We are fighting a couple of heavy cruisers. Let's stick to standard shells. I don't need them particularly light, nor do I need them super heavy. As for the amount of complement of shells, well, as they say in World of Warships, Stalin guide our shells, especially when it comes down to Russian ships. So we don't need that many. we can just go with a reduced amount of shells. Same for torpedoes. They are not homing torpedoes, but if Stalin manages to come out of the depths of hell and guide these things onto the target, then a reduced amount of torpedoes is perfectly enough. Propellants. Things that go boom. Things that go boom a lot. Lidite 2 is quite nice. It also has a tendency to make your own ship go boom. That's a nasty side effect, but hey, we're Russian. Russian engineering never fails, so this should not be that much of an issue. Same time though, Cordite 1. No, this is just lots and lots of shell damage. Especially HE shell damage. HE fire chance. Meh. Propellant, 2 powder. That's a lot of bonuses. No. We're going to go with Lidite 2. As for hydraulic turrets, we can upgrade them a bit. Reloading. What are these auto loaders? I mean, we have crew for this, right? We don't need any kind of auto loading technology. We got 425 crew members. We'll give them a bit of help with heavy hydraulic machinery, but hard labor is very Russian. So we're going to let the crew actually load the guns. Torpedoes, I'm not even sure if I'm going to add these yet, so we'll see about those later. A rangefinder. Well, we have Stalin to guide our shells. And Stalin to demonetize our video, seeing as how often I'm saying that. But we can make this a stereoscopic rangefinder. Because we're going to be fighting at decent range. Let's go with a 4. Acoustics. Do we really need that? I mean, torpedo spotting range. We have crew, right? They look outside, they see torpedoes, they warn us. What do we need sonar for? We're going to go with a small hydrophone station. And as for radio, improved radio telegraph. Well, that would be useful in case the Kamchatka needs to warn us about incoming torpedo boats. Yes, we're going to go with an advanced radio. You never know. Now, radar, we've discussed radar in the previous one. I don't particularly like radar because it has a tendency to cook crew members, and we need those, as discussed, for loading the guns, for operating the watchtowers to actually spot the torpedoes. So we don't need a better hydrophone station. No, we don't need radar where we're going. Then, as for the design of the ship itself, we cannot go for any design that is too weird, but I'll go with something that still has a modicum of guns. Actually, how far can I put this thing forward? That's not too bad. I would like to place guns on these little gun positions. Not that you get any kind of bonuses with it, but hey, why not? And these, of course, are going to be side-mounted main guns. And ideally, we're going to go with mixed caliber so we can engage all sorts of different threats. We're going to start with... no. Although I do wonder... Can you balance this out? I wonder. If I move this out to the side? Why? You should be able to balance this, right? Hold on. If I go for center lines... I'm just curious to see if this works. If I... Oh yeah, of course, then I kind of put them off center. Never mind. A centerline gun. We're going to go with a mixed caliber, so we can always engage any kind of threat. We're going to go with a triple barrel right here on the bow. And then backed up by a 6-inch single barrel, because you don't want to have too many guns. I mean, they are manually loaded, so we need the crew members to do a lot of different tasks. Another 11-inch right on the stern. And then we're going to put another 6-inch right above it. Single barrel, again, I don't want to have too many loaders. Funnels. Thick. Russian style thick funnel is required. Probably gets us to 100% engine efficiency, so that's good. Then, what else would you need on a warship? Well, more guns. Guns are very useful. We can put 5-inch guns here and here. We're going to go with a mixed caliber. Really? That's too close to the 5-inch gun? But you don't care. That makes no sense. Yeah, we're going to put it here to confuse the enemy. Because if they do a bombing run and they see all these circles on the deck, they might think that we have armament there, but we don't. The armament's right next to it. So they won't spot those if they use air attack against this ship. I also want to have a couple of 3-inch guns, because as I mentioned, we gotta have mixed types of armaments. And ideally set up another a couple of smaller guns here, in case there is an attack of destroyers. Now the 4-weight offset could be a problem, so we're gonna have to shift the second big turret back a bit. That should do it. And of course, you gotta be prepared for close-in threats, which means we have torpedoes there and torpedoes here. Now these torpedoes, they're gonna be big. They're gonna be 23-inch. And as far as propellant type, they're going to be fast. The faster the torpedo is, the faster it hits the target, and the more damage we will inflict. Now, I still have a lot of displacement left. What am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with all that? I don't need that much armor. I mean, armor is a bit overrated. That won't fit. That won't fit. That won't fit. Barbettes not invented here. I still have a bit of an aft weight offset going on. It's because I added the torpedoes, I think. Oh, that's as far forward as it goes, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to have to remove this thing a bit. 1.5. Can we also put a torpedo launcher somewhere at the front? We can put down an underwater torpedo tube. Right there. And there. Holy shit. That thing's heavy? 72 tons at the front? What the fuck? That must be because I put it all the way in the bow. Fine. I'll put one here and balance it by putting one on the stern. Which still... That makes no sense. Why is this tube so heavy? This is 72 tons on the bow, and I also put 72 tons on the stern, but no, it doesn't care. Fine. We shall relocate the secondary turret yet again. And, well, we still have about 3,500 tons left, which is good, because we also need some room for the vodka maker. We need a bit of room for the vodka distillery. So we're going to put a bit more armor on this ship. I do want to make it fairly tanky. I mean, this is a Russian warship. We are especially concerned about the aircraft carriers, which have been rumored to be in the game, although they've never been seen. So, you gotta have this deck armor up, because if you don't have it, well, you never know when those pesky aircraft actually do show up. Turret armor. Yes. Secondary armor, a bit. Turret top armor, some. Conning tower, we gotta keep the captain safe. We gotta keep the captain safe. The captain is now safe at 25 inches of conning tower armor. That gives us about 600 tons left, and I think that should all go into the vodka distillery. So we don't really need to put any more armor on, otherwise we have to ditch that part, which is very important to the Russian Navy. Alright. This, I believe, is going to be the cruiser that beats the Russian Navy. No, that beats the German Navy. Let's put it to the test. Alright, Dmitry Donskoy, Sviataya Natalia, Graf Orlov, and Johan Bogoslov. The enemy is somewhere to the north, and we shall find them. I'm not sure why this Sviataya Natalia is not properly lined up. You're gonna actually join this formation, and we are proudly sailing in line abreast at a mere 15 knots, if we can even get that fast. It's gonna take the ships a bit of time to fall into formation, but with our current maneuvering ability and not yet in contact with the enemy, we should be perfectly fine. Turning circle of this ship is remarkably good at a mere 486 meters. Acceleration is a respectable 0.1 knot per second, which means speeding up and slowing down should be an option. Oh, if it's not the Kamchatka, it's the Graf Orlov running into this Fiataya. Oh well. We have been detected, at least. This is what the reports tell us. That's what happens when you go up against a navy that does use radar. And there is enemy smoke spotted somewhere here to the north. Starting range is 20,000 meters. So where exactly they are is anybody's business or anybody's guess, but it might be somewhere at this distance. Now, let's see if the spy will win, or if the Russian Navy will win. This is calm seas, right? Calm waves. Yet, the stern turret seems to be just flooding regularly. Oh, hello. Incoming shells. I mean, these are calm seas. Well, look at that. These are calm seas. I didn't even want to be on this cruiser if it's rough seas. Bloody hell, that does not look comfortable. Judging by where the fire is coming from, I'd say that we're not even that far removed from the German Navy. Here. They are 11.5 clicks out. They have scored first blood on, or at least they have hit the Dmitry Donskoy. But they won't damage our vodka maker. Not with 25 inches of armor and 10 inches of deck armor. And as you can see, the deck armor is working because we still have not been attacked by aircraft carriers. They just don't dare. And for those of you who are completely oblivious, in the current version of the game there are no aircraft carriers, but the Russian Navy doesn't necessarily know that. Dmitry Donskoy is on fire, but we have acquired the enemy at a range of 9.7 kilometers and we are opening up. Russian warships are still trying to assume their formation fleet, or their position in the formation, but so far unsuccessfully. Sailors, man your stations, pass on the ammunition, and see, this is what happens when you put strapping burly Russian men in turrets. They give you a reload of 30.6 seconds. I tell you, all these auto-loading technologies, they are completely overrated. We don't need that. We just need a couple of really strong Russian dudes. Now, I wonder who's actually going to win this fight. I mean, I designed a terrible warship like that. But the problem is, it might still be effective. Oh, here we go. We've already... We've already sent out one torp. This is going to be good. Who are we fighting? Unknown, 35%. Judging by their build, this is probably the cruiser. Oh, jeebus, that's a lot of guns. And torps. That's a lot of guns. They've already spotted the torpedoes, of course. Are you a submarine? I thought German U-boats didn't usually have this many turrets on them. I wonder what this is about. What is this guy planning? Is he going to attack from the depths? Is that it? Might be. These Germans are cunning. You don't know. You quite never know what they're up to. Fortunately, we have capable Russian sailors and excellent vodka makers, so we should be perfectly safe. Now we're going to do the Russian thing and let's charge right the hell in. Damn the torpedoes, which they do carry. I already saw a quintuple launcher right there. But hey, we got sailors watching the seas, and if torpedoes come our way, they will spot them and they will alert us in a timely fashion. So far, we have inflicted 10 hits. The enemy has inflicted 85 hits. 35 of which... Oh, sorry, 35 points of damage. The enemy has also fired a hell of a lot more than we did, but it's mostly been smaller caliber guns. Charge in, my Russian brothers. We are going to move towards the enemy. And you can already see that the Germans have spotted these ships. And they're on the run. Proud Russian Navy putting the Germans where they belong, which is turning tail and heading back to their ports, where they will cower. We got German cruiser, heavy cruiser Steer identified. Come here, Steer. See? Small guns. Impotent German guns. 8-inch guns. Also torpedoes. Visibility of minus 78%. But we got Russian sailors. They don't care about these things. We will spot the torpedoes and we will get out of the way of these torpedoes. Our fast torpedoes actually are still heading towards the Steer and her sister ship Lippe. Where exactly the German light cruisers are, I don't quite know. But I imagine somewhere over here. Why these Germans think that they need 33 knots on a heavy cruiser is beyond me. It seems to be way too fast. Ha! See? Russians have spotted the torpedoes, and the torpedoes hold no power. We are perfectly safe. We still have the Germans on the run. And we shall now increase the flank. Increase the flank. And we shall charge down the Germans. We shall drive them before us. More torpedoes. See? Not a problem. The torpedoes are close, but they don't do any kind of damage against Dmitry Donskoy. Dmitry is fine. And since Dmitry is the only one who is currently under torpedo fire, the rest of the ships don't need any kind of help with their maneuvers. Johann Bogoslov already torping the enemy fleet. And we have actually damaged the Steer. And the Steer has standard amount of bulkheads. See, this is what happens when you don't have confidence in your own sailors. We don't need that many bulkheads. Because we're perfectly fine. Our damage control parties have already put down the flooding that was happening on the Dmitry. And right now, yes, we may have some water in the bow, but we have formed a line. We are hosing the water back out. As opposed to the Steer, which still has serious flooding. But then again, the Germans have standard bulkheads. But these bulkheads will be pierced by proud Russian torpedoes. Unfortunately, the Steer, again, low confidence in their own crew members at spotting torpedoes, they do have a good sonar system. But these sonar systems are overrated. It seems like our guns are not that accurate. But this at the same time means that the vodka maker is in excellent shape. And so is the distribution network, because it seems like it's getting to all 425 crew members. Steer is being hit time and time again. We have songs being sung about 11-inch guns, 6-inch, 5-inch, 3-inch, 2-inch, 2-inch torpedoes, and more torpedoes. Drive me closer. I want to hit them with my 2-inch gun. Steer is once again flooding. This is what happens to German engineering when it encounters Russian 11-inch guns. I do believe it will not encounter Russian torpedoes because we seemingly have already run out. At least on the bow tube. Fortunately, Johann Bogoslov still has some. Graf Orlov still has fun, and Sviataya still has a few. All jokes aside, I don't get how the Russians are beating the Germans. I designed this cruiser as badly as I could. Oh. Okay. Yeah, that might come at the cost of one heavy cruiser. Come on, my Russian crew members. Put the flooding away. And don't try to be a submarine. Torpedoes away from the Dmitry Donskoy. Honorable to the last. But unfortunately that was, in fact, the last. Wow, we hit a torpedo? Yeah. That was unexpected. We actually managed to hit a torpedo on the steer. The rest of the fleet is still powering through, and I'm not sure what these light cruisers are doing, the Gazelle and the Berlin. But it is not an honorable thing. They are not moving in. They're not even opening fire. But then again, these stupid German gunners are all looking the wrong way. And as the ship maneuvers, the 6-inch guns got no opportunity whatsoever to open up. Graf Orlov is now the lead ship. It looks like the Lippe also is maneuvering too heavily for her turrets to get any kind of angle. And once again, the Lippe seems to be somehow turning into a submarine. The Germans must be experimenting with new size U-boats. The way that these things dip into the water at times is disturbing. But the Lippe is flooding on her stern, though. You have to be kidding. How the fuck am I winning this? I'm not even playing seriously, right? I'm just charging in. And yet. And yet. Go away, German ship. Orlov sends another salvo of torpedoes into the water, cruising towards the already wounded Lippe at a blistering speed of 63 knots. Unfortunately, it seems like the torpedoes have not properly aimed, nor are they guided yet. Seems like that consultant that was aiding in the design of these ships might have lied about that actual homing torpedo that they were selling us. How are there big holes in the Orlov? That has to do with the torpedo hit. Yes, I imagine that would make a big hole in your ships. Oh, and there might be a few more on the port side. And the Graf Orlov is no more. It is time to split up. Sviataya, you're going to charge that one down, and the Johan Bogoslav, you are going to go for the light cruisers. Damn the Gazelle, and damn the Berlin. It's time to get some revenge. We still have a few torpedoes, and we have many guns. We just need to bring these to bear. Unfortunately, it seems like these ships are maneuvering pretty violently, and this makes it difficult to hit these ships. But again, Russian gunners, we can hit these. Just drive me closer. I want to hit them with my 11-inch gun, because even at 2.8 kilometers, I cannot seem to do that. Sviataya is still trying to charge in. Relatively unsuccessfully, I might add. The cowardly Germans are smoking up. Show them how we deal with ships that smoke up. We just join them in the smoke. Because aside from vodka, we don't mind the occasional vaping. Fire all secondaries on the Gazelle. We are hunting gazelles today. Holy shit, we're hunting gazelles with torpedoes. That's how you hunt a gazelle. Sviataya. Speed up, man. Destroy the secondary gun. What, did you blow up the 6-inch? No. You blew up one of our 5-inch guns. That is unfortunate. Fire all guns at the Berlin. Get our Russian sailors to start maneuvering the turrets over to the starboard side, because I think that that is where we will end up. Firing at the Berlin at 1400 meters. And yet, the vodka makers are perfectly functional. because as it seems, we still cannot hit the target. Sviataya. I'm not even going to direct the torpedoes or not. I'm just going to let the ship do what it wants to do with the torps. Flooding on the Lippe. We have also acquired a fire on the ship on the stern. This is the best that the German engineering has to offer, but it holds no candle to the Russian firepower. And I gotta say, it seems like the conning tower on the ship is really working well. Because even at a range of, what, 2.8 kilometers? You cannot penetrate 25 inches of conning tower. You gotta protect the vodka maker. Another bow torpedo leaves the bow tube. And it looks like the Lippe is immediately responding to that maneuver. Back to the Boguslav, which is still trying to hunt down the Berlin and seemingly getting some success. Mr. Berlin is flooding and has problems with one of her engines. It also has a standard bulkhead system complemented by an anti-flood 3. So yes, they might be able to control the damage, but they cannot control the concentrated firepower of all the guns on the Johan Boguslav. The German ship is still running away. These ships used to do 33 knots. 21.7 is the best they can acquire. Which is no match, well, a bit of a match, for the 20 knots that these Sviataya and Natalia can achieve. Berlin, still taking damage. I wonder actually how much damage these things did. 447 from the 11s. Almost nothing from the 3 and the 2 inch. But again, the 3 inch and the 2 inch are there to keep the destroyers away, and it's working because I haven't seen any destroyers. So they are successful at keeping those ships away. There is another maneuver in the Russian book. And that's ramming. We still have 2 torpedoes left on the Sviataya. Flooding on the Lippe. Maybe a port side torpedo launch is all that we need. Oh, that's uncalled for. Ow. Ow. There goes the Russian maker. Oh, the shit. That was not planned. What exactly happened to Sviataya? Sviataya got hit by 2 torpedoes. She got her rudder damaged. Engine 1, engine 2. Oh, she's still launching her torpedo. Or sorry, launching her turrets. I gotta say, that is the ultimate Russian thing to do. If you cannot fire your guns anymore, you just launch the whole turret at the enemy ship. And she actually, on her way down, just before she went down, she did launch her torpedoes. And they will sink the... They actually sunk the Lippe. You have to be shitting me. Proud Russian sailors, I'm telling you. They might go down with the ship. They threw the whole turret at the enemy warship. But just before the ship went down, they did not jump overboard. Nope, they launched their torpedoes. That was their last-ditch effort. Now, Berlin. How would you like to go? You're gonna choose death by 11 inch? Or death by torpedo? It's probably going to be death by torpedo at this point. Range, 1200 meters. She's smoking up. Helm, steady course. Torpedo tubes, port side, prepare. Helm, steady. Helm, damn it, are you drunk? Never mind. That was 6,000 damage and 1 light cruiser less. So, once again, the spy has been foiled and the Russian Admiralty is pleased with the design of the new heavy cruisers, as they seem to perform excellently. Not only were they successfully damaging and destroying a light cruiser and a heavy cruiser of German design, they were also successful at keeping destroyers away, because I haven't seen any, and the 10-inch deck armor made it so that the aircraft carriers didn't even dare attack these ships. So, design accepted by the Russian Admiralty, and we should be seeing these ships again soon in the future of the of the Russian Navy. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you, Tristan, for sending in another scenario, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. Thank you for joining, and I shall see you guys soon for another video.